In the next hour, Joe Biden's expected to announce vaccination requirements for all federal workers, or instead, they have to submit to regular testing. The United States is lagging behind Europe in terms of vaccinations. Look at the numbers. Partially vaccinated, the US 56, the EU 58. Fully vaccinated, the US 49, the EU 48, but the EU can be expected to soon overtake as it introduces stricter mandates from European governments. For instance, in Italy, healthcare workers and pharmacists have faced vaccine mandates since March. At the end of August, French workers in bars, restaurants and theatres will be required to be vaccinated, mandatory for healthcare workers as of October. In England, it's care home workers who will need to be vaccinated by October, and patrons of nightclubs and large venues will need proof of vaccination by the end of the summer. In Greece, nursing home staff and healthcare workers face a vaccine mandate by September. Christos Stαϊκouras is Greece's finance minister. The minister is with me from Athens. It is good to see you, Minister, as indeed always. We'll deal with the economy and those issues in a moment. Let's deal with mandates. Are you in favour of the widest possible mandate to cover government employees and private sector workers to get them vaccinated?
First of all, thank you for inviting me, Richard. We have to admit that in Greece, the vaccination rollout is quite successful. Already, we have fully vaccinated 5 million people. At the same time, we are taking concrete actions in order to enhance this process. So, for example, as you mentioned before, we have mandated all Greek healthcare and social care workers to be fully vaccinated. And at the same time, we have introduced a policy whereby only vaccinated people can be served at indoor cafes, restaurants, and bars. At the same time, we have created incentives for younger people in order to be vaccinated.
Okay, but
thus,
Minister,
I think we are following a holistic approach.
Right, but do you think that this holistic approach is going to have to become harder and harsher with those, first of all, those people who don't want to be vaccinated, secondly, those tourists who arrive who aren't vaccinated? You're basically going to have to say, if you're not vaccinated, there is a consequence.
We have taken significant actions, as I mentioned before, but at the same time, we have a very efficient process regarding testing and tracing system. So in this case, if you combine the vaccination process with the testing and the tracing system, we think that we will keep visitors safe and allow hassle-free travel to Greece.
I want to talk, if I may, about the redevelopment funds, the multi-billion investment funds and the redevelopment of the Olympic Athletic Centre of Athens that you're going to be putting money towards. It's appropriate we talk about it since the Olympics are underway at the moment. This stadium that you're putting money into, it's never made money. Since 2005, it's created losses of 7 million. It's cost you hundreds of million. Why are you putting valuable redevelopment funds into what's arguably an albatross that'll never make money?
Because, first of all, we have proved in the last 2 years that we can attract investments and make valuable projects. One of these has to do with the development, with the sustainable development, as you mentioned before, of the Olympic Athletic Centre of Athens. In this case, we will put some money as a state from the budget, 43 million euros. At the same time, the private sector will add 150 million euros. We expect that after a couple of years, at the end of 2023, we will manage to create 1,400 permanent new jobs. Right. We will create a first-class sporting arena. At the same time, we will enhance the environmental footprint of that project.
The 31 billion or so that Greece will get from the EU's post-pandemic fund, the recovery fund, to give it its title, this is an opportunity that governments will rarely, if ever, get again, and the money can't be wasted. How aware are you that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
We know that. At the same time, I would like to inform you that today, Greece was the first country to conclude the partnership agreement on cohesion for the period 2021-2027 of the size of 21 billion euros. 21 more billion euros, 77 billion euros is the whole envelope until 2027. And we have created an excellent government structure. We have proactive in designing our plan as advanced maturity is a prerequisite for the projects to be included in the envelope. At the same time, the RRF is a performance-based plan, thus maximizing our motivation to meet all milestones and targets.
Minister, I'm grateful you've given us time. Thank you. We'll talk more as the year moves on to see where you're standing. It is good to see you as always. Thank you, sir.